Paul, yes. Just so that you understand, yeah. The state of Washington had an obligation to enforce the conditions of unsupervised probation. Yeah. hmm And though I never went to any jury trial or was convicted of any domestic violence or child abuse, I did enter into what is known a diversion. Yeah. And the defendant has completed the counseling requirements. The counseling requirements for the allegation of domestic violence and child abuse. Yes. And the diversion program and paid the applicable fines and fees. Yes. Now I was placed on unsupervised status and allowed to leave the island. Yes. Well, the truth of the matter is, when you allege violations of the restraint provisions while on probation, I had called Healthy Families of Clallam County to see if they got the documentation, yes, from the Attorney General of Guam, known as the People of Guam. Now, it should have been that the prosecuting attorney, yes, let's see, Superior Court, Paul Chad Budnick, Nicholas Brooks Barrett, Assistant Attorney General, yes, would have faxed or emailed a copy of this order of my unsupervised probation. Yeah. Now, let's say that you conspired to deprive me of my rights as a father. Phew. You are malicious in your accusation of violating the restraint provisions. Yes. The actual trial, Judge Porter, was a malicious prosecution because of the malicious harassment and the hate crime. Yes. Of refusing to acknowledge my rights as a father. Yes. Now, in 2011, malicious harassment wasn't a hate crime. Yeah. But now it is. Yes, it is. Now, for example, I'm going to teach you a lesson right now. When you, because of information, yes, have somebody arrested, yeah, 4 days after filing for dissolution of marriage, yes, you did. And then you arraign them in May of 2012, right, for the allegation on May 28th, yeah. The truth of the matter is, what somebody wanted to prove was that I had violated the conditions of the probation. Oh, but when I had called on approximately May 4th of 2012, Healthy Families of Clallam County, and you decided, well, we're just going to screw him over. So you spent 20 days going through the welfare department and all the other departments necessary to get the forms, yes, to file for dissolution of marriage, Judge Ken Williams. And then you served me at the same moment as arresting me, yes, so that I couldn't respond. Now, I would say, yes, that at the moment of the not guilty verdict, I had satisfied the conditions of the probation. Yeah. And for the petitioner, is Heidi Lee Budnick or Heidi Lee Budner, depending on the slant of the signature, yes, to use any forgery or fraud in the issuance of court orders. Now, I want you to understand, when I contacted Healthy Families of Clallam County, I didn't just ask them if they got the expungement order. I asked them if they got the order from the Assistant Attorney General Brian D. Uh, wait a second. Somebody else's signature here. Yeah. Must have been an employee Gallagher. Nicholas Brooks Barrett. Ooch, it looks like the signature is different than what's See, could you find out why Nicholas's name is Brian? Yes. And Brooks's name is D. Yeah. And Barrett's name is Gallagher. And there's a problem with the actual typed name of the individual versus the signature. Yeah. Contact the Attorney General's office on Guam. Yeah. Now, this signature, Assistant Public Defender. Yeah. On November 21st, they signed this. Oh. And then I signed it, Paul Budnick. Yes. But while sitting there, yes, he did. I added that little C. Now, I would say that the proof is, that I had agreed to everything that was done. Yes. And then there's the Honorable Alberto C. Lamaria, the third presiding judge, Superior Court of Guam. Yes, 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 yes. Now, when we really think about it right now, um, if there was a real allegation of violating the restraint provisions, yeah, you would have called the police on that day. Instead, you didn't. Oh, now I'm going to want to use the court system today, okay? And then I'm going to want to sue you, yes, for not enforcing the probation conditions that allowed me to leave the island of Guam. Now, this contact between Mr. Budnick and his wife and children will be regulated by the court in the state of Washington. Now, I would say that's not a carte blanche. It is only for the extent of the probation conditions of the diversion program. Yeah, at the time, I was no longer on probation. Um, I want you to understand something. Malicious harassment, malicious accusations, yes, malicious prosecution, hate crimes, conspiracy, right now. Then there's the fraud and the forgery of Heidi Lee Budnick and Heidi Lee Budner. Yes, there is. And then there's this